Hey guys, I'm Unblessed Data, and welcome to another review. This time we have the long-awaited return of The Walking Dead. It's been a long 2 months. Well, I wouldn't say long, because, that little break in between, it went by pretty fast. At least for me it did. But yes, we have the long return of The Walking Dead. This is Season 3, Episode 9, The Suicide King. And before I give anything away, just want to let you guys know that this review does contain spoilers, so if you do not want to know what happened, go watch the episode and come back. But just before we get started, I just want to give just my overall feeling of the episode, and really, it was a slow episode. It wasn't the best, the most exciting, the craziest, but I think it has to start somewhere, and for it to have a slow start back into the Season 3, I think it's going to start picking up. With that said, it was slow. Even the atmosphere of the whole episode, it felt different than previously. And another thing I found a little strange was that the rating was changed on the show. Before, I'm not actually 100% positive what it was rated before, but now it's, at least in Canada, it's rated mature, which is, I found it's a little weird finding this out, because I never really paid attention to what the show was rated, honestly, and this kind of was just like, I'm pretty sure it wasn't rated mature before, and I think the rating did change because they swore more, and they said swear words that they didn't say before, so maybe they boosted the rating because of that. I'm not sure. It really doesn't matter to me because it's still the same show. I mean, the rating's not going to change it unless it was like a huge different rating where they could do, crazy things. But, what else could they do at this point, really? But, yeah, so the rating changed. That was kind of weird. But let's just start off this review right from the beginning, and we'll walk through the whole review. So basically, we start off right where we left off, and Merle and Daryl are basically set face to face, and they have to fight to the death on behalf of the governor. And basically Merle's proving his loyalty to the governor, saying, well, your loyalty's to me, kill your own brother. That's like basically the invader, or how did the governor put it, the terrorist, which I found hilarious. But yeah, Merle's really quick to fight. He punches his brother right away, and basically I forgot to mention this, the governor says whoever wins this fight to the death is set free. So, that's kind of weird how he would say set free, because if Merle won, then would he be set free, and then, he's just gone, like, he wouldn't accept him back into Woodbury? That was kind of a concept I was thinking about. Well, I'm not sure, really, if it would have played out like that, and Merle would have killed Daryl, what would happen? But, anyway, so they start fighting, and, again, Merle's right away starts punching him. And Daryl's just on the floor, just kind of like, I think he had in his mind, like, I don't want to fight my brother. I think that's what he was really thinking, because he didn't strike, like, he didn't protect himself right away, because, and again, maybe he thought that his brother wasn't going to hurt him right away, but, of course, he did. But he does come back, and he starts punching him. They fight for a little while, not a lot at all, actually. Then, the governor tells his people to pull out the zombies, like, we've seen before, how Merle was fighting in that little arena with the zombies around. Yeah, they brought the zombies in, but they brought the zombies really close into each other. The governor probably wanted them both to die, really, but he brought the zombies really close, and basically Merle and Daryl kind of said, you know what, back to back, let's fight this out together. So then they start fighting, and Daryl actually starts punching the zombies just with his bare hand. It was, that's kind of weird. So yeah, it looks like they're kind of helpless. They can't really do anything. I guess Merle has his metal hand that he can punch the zombies with, but other than that, what can they really do? But you'd be wrong. Then we see Rick to come save the day. So Rick's back with, everyone, and Maggie is actually sniping the zombies, and she actually kills one of the governor's, I don't even know what to say, like, one of the governor's, like, people or whatever, like, not zombie, like, living person. It was actually, I don't really remember her name, but it was the girl that was teaching Andrea how to shoot, and she said, oh, I have perfect aim and all that. Yeah, Maggie shot her, like, sniped her. So that was really unexpected, that we seen, like, a normal live person die, like, so quickly, too, and it's kind of weird seeing that. I wasn't really used to that, I was expecting just the zombies to get killed. But that's kind of weird that they have Maggie sniping. and she looked like she was pretty good at it too. So I don't know. She's switching roles with Andrea now. Is she gonna be the sniper? I'm not sure. But of course, Andrea still has a really good shot in the show. But she didn't really take up her sniping position like she does in the comics. So maybe Maggie's gonna take that up in the show. We don't really know. So Merle and Daryl kind of break out of there. They throw smoke everywhere, and they kind of escape. And another cool little scene is Daryl kind of runs up to one of the governor's guys, and he kind of just takes his crossbow back. Really cool scene. It felt really iconic. The crossbow is Daryl's, man. Whenever you see that crossbow, you automatically think Daryl. So that was pretty cool. And so basically, Merle and Daryl are out of the Woodbury now, and they're with Rick and Michonne, Glenn, Maggie, them. And basically, Merle says, okay, can I come with you now, basically? Obviously, he doesn't say it like that. But Rick automatically says, no, we're not taking you in. Last time this happened, we couldn't trust him in the beginning. Like, in the first season, we obviously know what happened with Merle. So Rick doesn't really want to trust him at all, which I don't blame him. So he kind of turns him down. And Daryl's kind of upset with this, and Daryl's like, well, he's my brother, like, come on, just, like, cut him a break, blah, blah, blah. And another little funny thing is, right when Michonne seen Merle, she was straight just gonna kill him with her sword right away, because, yeah, Merle's been hunting her, trying to kill her, so, and it was kind of weird to see, like, Rick say, like, don't, Michonne, like, stay back, like, almost like she was like a dog, it seemed like that, I don't even know where they was going with that, but, yeah, it would have been kind of cool just to see Michonne kill Merle right there. I think that would have been kind of cool, because then Daryl would have hate Michonne. So that would have set something cool with the show. Maybe Daryl kills Michonne at that point or later on. I think that would have set up something cool. But they don't do that. And basically, at this point, Rick finds out about Andrea and that she's at Woodbury and everything. Merle tells him, and so everything's kind of revealed at this point. So he knows where Andrea is. But Andrea's still in Woodbury, so that's kind of, don't know what's going to happen about that. And then Rick knocks Merle out because he had enough of him. He's, just blabbing. We then find out back at the prison that Tyrese's group was originally a group of 25 people, and that's a lot of people. And he basically said that before everything started, he and his the most of the people in his group were in a bunker that one of his neighbors had, because his neighbor was like one of those survivalists, like, oh, I gotta prepare for the apocalypse, which is kind of funny because there's a lot of people like that right now, and everyone's criticizing them. Oh, what are you doing? Nothing like that's ever gonna happen, blah blah blah. And then in the show they kind of put that to use and say, he was prepared and everything. So a group of 25 people with Tyrese were in the beginning with them, and it slowly dwindled down to what they have right now. So that was kind of interesting to find out. And yeah, so then we go back to Rick and them, and basically Rick is kind of like decided, no, Merle's not coming with us, and that's the end of that. So Daryl's again is upset. He doesn't really know what to do. Does he pick the group, Rick's group, over Merle, or does he pick Merle over the group? So he makes a split decision, and yeah, Daryl goes with Merle. And so now they're on their own. They leave Rick's group, and it was kind of sad to see this because Daryl's is a key part of Rick's group. I mean, he's like the core. He's what makes it strong. They had Shane before, and he was another key component, and he's gone. So now Daryl is also gone. His group's kind of weak. Rick's group doesn't really have any of those powerhouse characters. But now that we're talking about powerhouse characters, Glenn, again, we see some character development in this episode. He's really angry in this episode. He's killing zombies with like so much anger in him, and we can see that he's really changed from the first season where he's really innocent to now where he's been exposed to the dangers, and he's really lost his innocence. That's I think that's the best way to sum this up. And yeah, he's just really angry, and I think he's gonna take Daryl's role basically in the group now. He's gonna step up and be like, the semi-leader, like the second in command. I would think. So yeah, we basically know that. But yeah, I'm sad to see Daryl go. I'm sure they're gonna switch between them and the group like they did with Michonne and Andrea in the group. So I'm sure they're gonna do that. So we're still gonna see more of Daryl, but we're not going to see him with Rick and them. And it'd be cool to see them meet up again, and I'm sure they're going to do that. So let's wait for that episode. But yeah, let's move on. So basically, Tyrese's group back at the prison, everyone other than Tyrese and whoever and his friend or daughter or mother or whatever, I don't even know who she is. I gotta find that out. I'm actually not really sure. I don't think they ever said in the show. But everyone basically wants to take over the prison except for Tyrese. He's saying, no, 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 we have to trust these people. They're helping us. You know, let's not start anything. But everyone else in this group is saying, oh, look, we can take these people down. It's just a kid, an old man, blah, blah, blah. We can kill them and take the prison. And again, Tyrese says, no, 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 we're not going to do that. Let's respect these people. You know, if we help them, they'll help us. So that's basically where it is with them right now. So I'm sure that's going to be another thing with, it's almost like the prisoners, how, you know, there was a whole thing with them, how they wanted to take the prison over from Rick and them. So kind of we're seeing the same thing kind of happen again. Then we go back to Woodbury, and the people are all panicking in Woodbury, like, they want to leave and everything. They don't trust the governor anymore. And basically, it's really not safe in there anymore. And zombies actually break through Woodbury, and they're in there infecting everyone, but the governor takes care of it, I guess. But, so it's really not safe for them anymore. But we see Andrea kind of rally up a group of people and like say, you know, this is our salvation, blah, blah, blah. Like she's giving this whole speech like that, like saying, you know, we can't give up now. So I don't know. It looks like almost Andrea's taking up the governor's role now, because the governor, he's in a bad mood. You know, he had a bad day. So well, you know, we're gonna leave him out for a while. But then Rick goes back to the prison, and basically he tells Carol that Daryl's gone, and it kind of hits Carol pretty hard, and she actually says, my baby's gone. So we could see that there was something between them. It was obvious there was. But yeah, so Daryl left Carol too, so that was kind of big too, that you kind of have to think of. And then we see that the doctor, like mad scientist guy from Woodbury, he's kind of taking up the leadership role too, and he's kind of like ordering everything around and stuff. But you know, he's such like a passive guy that no one's really listening to him, and that's kind of where Andrea comes up for them. Other than that, Rick at the prison now, and he sees his baby, and he holds her for like the first time in a while, and he looks at her, and Laurie Carol says, oh, she has Laurie's eyes, and Rick kind of holds the baby and looks at her, and he starts to go a little crazy. Everything's welling up inside his head. He's screaming, yelling. It looks like he's under a lot of pressure. So that's our first clue on what's going to happen next. But something kind of weird happens. But anyway, Tyrese and Rick meet. And, you know, Tyrese sticks out his hand saying, you know, handshake, blah, blah. Rick doesn't even shake his hand. So we can see that, you know, something's going on here. Tyrese seems like a nice guy. Same in the comics. Tyrese was an awesome character in the comics. And it looks like they're portraying him pretty well in the show, too. But we can see there's something wrong with Rick. And basically, Tyrese is basically trying to convince Rick to let his group kind of join their group. And he says, no, I can't be responsible. And basically, Tyrese says, well, if you turn us out, you are responsible. So we can see how Tyrese is kind of turning it on himself, like, you know, I'll let us in. But I think Rick really doesn't want to be responsible for more deaths. I think it's had its toll on him, as we can see, even with the telephone and, you know, the screaming and everything. He's starting to go crazy. We can really see that. So he really doesn't want to be in need for any more deaths or anything like that. But they bring up a good point, Carl and them, that if the governor attacks, and they're pretty sure that he is going to attack the prison, they need reinforcements, and Tyrese and them can actually help with that. So, especially when they lost Daryl now, so, you know, we need help. And just as Rick's kind of thinking this over, and at this point I think Rick's going to say, yeah, join. He sees someone in the top, because you know how in the prison there's like the top like cells, so they're up higher. He sees someone up there in a white dress in the shadows with long hair, and we assume this is Laurie. So basically we're seeing the ghost of Laurie at this point. And this is when Rick goes full crazy, basically. And he starts screaming and yelling and saying, no, get out of here, get out. And basically Tyrese and his group, they're thinking that he's talking to them. So they're like, okay, sorry, and they leave. So basically at this point, we don't know if Tyrese is going to be back in with them because of Rick's little freak out here. But yeah, we see, I guess, Laurie's ghost, but we never see her face. Like, maybe it's Shane. We don't know. Shane could be in that white dress. We really don't know. So, yeah, so Laurie's ghost, maybe it's just taunting him. I don't know. Maybe it's trying to teach him a lesson. I have no clue. This is not in the comics at all. So I don't know where they're going to go with this, but I hope it goes away because it's kind of stupid. In my opinion, it seems like it does not belong. Like, they don't need to bring Star Wars, ghosts into this. It seems wrong to me. Like the way they did it with Shane, where Rick sees a glimpse of him for a second. Okay, that's fine because you can tell it's in his mind. But this is kind of like overboard, I think. But yeah, that was basically the whole episode. So it wasn't a strong return, but I think it was still a good return for The Walking Dead. So what do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks, and see ya.